Good evening. Good evening. I am or maybe good morning for some of you. Type in the chat bar, and everybody, if you could, turn on your cameras for me, if you would be kind enough. This way I could see you, you could see me, and we're going to have a great time tonight. And it's cool. Like all the trainings I do, I am going to talk with you and not at you. So go in the chat bar, type in, where are you logging in from? Yeah, if your camera doesn't work for some reason, then I will be kind on you. Every now and then I'll just teach you like this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Do the best you can, okay? It's just so much more fun. Make sure you're going to everybody. Dwayne in Wyoming. As you guys know, I am in New Jersey. We got Pittsburgh, North Carolina. Who else? Where are you coming in from? We'll have some more people joining us. Who did the training? Mr. Matt Puzio, what's up, brother? Super nice to see you. Michelle Wade, Brian Jewett, what's up? My man, Kevin, the Fire Master. All right, Colleen, what's up, my man? Kathy, wow. Kathy and Kathy Ryan, what's up? Nice to see everybody. So who was on Decamillionaire 1.0? Type in the chat bar 1.0 if you were at that training, 1.0. Okay, whole bunch of you, and you came back. I guess I covered some really good stuff there. Okay, this is 2.0. What that means is a lot of it is going to be exactly the same, but you're going to hear it completely different because I'm sure I'm going to say things completely different. But the whole thing about this training is to help you have a level of expansion above what you think might be possible for you right now, right? Decamillionaire, I'll explain to it, but it's somebody that gets to the level of wealth of 10 million or more, right? And for some of you, you might be in a perspective, and it doesn't matter. There's no judgments here. For some of you, you're like, I'm just trying to handle some bills. And some of you are like, hey, I got some money and I might be getting some more money. It doesn't matter where you're at, you're going to have a level of expansion. So if you're ready, I am going to share my screen here and we are going to dig in. And as I'm going through things, I want you to chat with me in the chat bar. I have the team on there. Here we go. Make sure you got a notebook and notepad. And let's do this. I was going to do a little live for a couple minutes here too. Okay. Boom. We are dialed in right now. So if you can see my screen, give me a big thumbs up. Got it? Yes. Mr. Matt Puzio, thank you there for showing me that you have thumbs tonight. That is perfect. Now, Decamillionaire 2.0, 2.0. Now, we do have to cover disclaimers because we just happen to live in a world of disclaimers. So please sit back, listen to the disclaimer a minute, and just let me know all good. All right. By watching this training, you are agreeing to the following. Professional advice disclaimer. FuDog Group does not provide any legal, financial, medical, or professional advice, and attendees should consult their own lawyer, accountant, doctor, or financial professionals for relevant advice. Nothing contained in this training program should be construed as professional, legal, accounting, medical, or therapeutic or financial advice. In addition, no representation whatsoever is made regarding the results to be achieved from participating in the program or through the use of the program materials or the confidential information. Okay, there is your professional disclaimer. If you're all good, go in the chat bar and type in good, please. Type in good, so I know you're all good. Now, let's read the massive results disclaimer, okay? FuDog Group only provides insight. You apply it. Therefore, FuDog Group is not responsible for your massive success and growth in all areas of life, including but not limiting to a better relationship with your spouse and children, more wealth, a more successful career, greater impact to serve others in the community and the world, a constant quest Oh, and significant legacy, improved mental and physical health and wellness, a constant quest for knowledge, wisdom, and improvement, and a greater overall sense of fulfillment in all aspects of life. FuDog Group is not responsible if you start getting up earlier, enjoy a more active and enriching day, live more productively, smile a lot more, and feel amazing, all while making better choices. FuDog Group is not responsible for turning you into a superhuman who squeezes the most rewarding experiences out of every moment while living your best life ever. If you're good with that, can you maybe type in all good on the massive results disclaimer? Okay. You have been warned that your life will change. Now, here's what we want to do. Cameras on if you can. No recording. We're recording it for you. Okay. Boom. Respect each other. The next thing, we'll support each other. We're here together. Judgment-free zone. No politics. No self-promotion. Play full out and take notes. Take action and be willing to transform and grow. Do we all agree? Type in all in. Type in all in, please. There you go. All in, all in, all in. There we go. Now, how much time are we going to spend together? Just about 90 minutes. Okay. If you could give me 90 minutes, can you just type in the chat bar 90 minutes? Will you give me 90 minutes? I mean, can you? I know life has a lot of things like, you know, you might have to watch a Netflix series or some bullshit news or something that's going on, right? I'm just asking for 90 minutes to help change your life tonight, okay? Change your life tonight. Here we go. Now, our agenda is going to be super fun, super rewarding. Let's map it out together. I do have to tell some of you a little bit about myself. Even though my wife says I like talking about myself, some of you may not know me for a long period of time. So why don't you type in the chat bar, like, how long do you know me? Is it a month, a week, a couple years, a couple months? What is it? Some of you are like 1 hour, 11 years. Chris Borton, what's up? Couple months, 4 months, 6 years. All right. Next thing we'll do is we'll do a quick little review of human engineering. Now, those of you that don't know, human engineering is a 90-minute training I did with a complete assessment for your life. Who was on human engineering? Just type in human in the chat bar. And if you didn't go on the training, can you put question marks? If you didn't know about the training, put question marks. Okay, I'm going to get you guys that training. I'm going to get it for you. Okay. The next one, we did a training that was called the superhuman way of thinking. Now, if you were on that training, type in superhuman. And if you were not on that training, type in a question mark, because I want to get it to you. These are complete trainings. Okay. They stack on each other. Tonight, we'll also go through the 10 traits of a decamillionaire. I want you to leave with an action plan tonight. Okay. And then we'll talk about how to change the channel. If this is a good night or a great night, will you just type in like great night or great day, wherever you're at in the world? Boom. That's who I am. Okay. They call me Hanchi because that's an instructor who has trained other instructors. It's just makes me sound a little cooler to call me Hanchi Aguilera. Okay. And that's just a cool picture just to make you think I'm like awesome for training this. No, it's just a good picture. Now, what have I done? Well, most of you in my world, you might know me for this. I built a company called Gold Medal Service. In under 10 years, we took it from under $1 million to 32 million, double-digit profits, 165 trucks all over New Jersey, 200 employees. And I got acquired 4 years ago for an amazing win of an acquisition where I signed my name and I walked away the next day. If you think that's a pretty cool thing, can you type in pretty cool in the chat bar? And I appreciate the interaction. I wish we were all in a room together. It'd be even cooler, but we got to interact this way with the chat bar, right? And some of you may also know me for this, CEO Warrior. CEO Warrior is the top training and implementation organization on the planet. We're in 42 different industries. We're in we have people from six different countries right now. Matter of fact, we got trainings going on right now tonight in CEO Warrior. You probably know me for that. Or some of you might know me for this, someone who's been able to work really hard to create an amazing life. Now, this is me when I was probably a young punk, or my wife would say, good boy, bad boy. Like I look like a bad boy, but I was a really pretty good boy, right? This is my beautiful, amazing wife. We've been together for 36 years. So you know that she has a tremendous amount of patience because she's been dealing with me for 36 years. And this is my amazing family. And this is me talking to a lot of people because my number one soul's purpose is to help change people's lives. And some of you probably know about this. This is called FuDog Group. Some people are like, what? FuDog Group. It's these imperial lion dogs, right? Looks just like that. And this is our amazing team that works together on that. And they're all here with you tonight. So if you could type in the chat bar, hey team, that would be really cool. And we've done a whole bunch of really amazing trainings this year. And every one of these trainings are life trainings. Life trainings. If you need business training and you're in a service industry, well, let me know and I will refer you over to CEO Warrior. That's where we do business training. If you need life training, enhancing your life, and I always tell people this, if you want to 10x your career or 10x your business, you better 20x yourself. Can you write that down? If you want to 10x your business, you want to 10x everything you're doing in your career, you have to 20x yourself. We've done some really cool trainings like Seekers of Power. And if you were on Seekers of Power training, can you type in Seekers and what that training was like? Tell me what it was like, Seekers of Power. Then we did another one that was called One Life, 2 nights a week for 5 weeks. I mean, would you dedicate 2 nights a week for 5 weeks if you knew it would change the game in your personal life forever? And then we did one called Unlocking the Wealth Code. Put in $signs if you attended Unlocking the Wealth Code. 2 nights a week for 5 weeks, we talked about how to create wealth. And it was incredible, and people made more wealth. And then we have a training coming up called Change the Channel. And then we have a whole bunch of people in this amazing group called the Freedom Tribe. And if you're in the Freedom Tribe, can you just type in Freedom Tribe? And we have some of these trainings coming up in the future, and I'll let you know about that. Now, since I know not everybody is in our world somehow, and maybe you leave early, I don't want to miss out on giving you a gift. Here's the gift. My team will put the link in there. I want you to just go to our website. And on the website, there's 2 areas. It says register for, you could go to the FuDog Facebook group. It's a free Facebook group where you could get on the email list. And here's the thing, for you guys signing up in that, look at the trainings. These are all trainings that we will give you, all of them, as a gift to you to change your life. This one's on energy clearing. This one's on power gratitude. This was One Life Journey. This was Money Cure. If every single one of you, you need to do this training right here, Money Cure. It's free. There's no excuses for you to suffer if I'm giving you free training. And level 51 was, I did that, I think I did it on my birthday when I turned level 51, and it was probably over 51 magical things. Also, make sure you hit up the team here, right? Get on Facebook, tag me on Telegram, all right? If that's value for all of you, can you type in value in the chat bar, please? Can you type in value in the chat bar? Because I want to make sure, like everybody that knows that's in my world in any way, I am all about massive value change your life. All right, let's dig in. I told you this is going to come fast and furious here tonight, but I know you can hang with it, because if you showed up, it's because you're like, yeah, you know what? I could hang with Mike a little bit and you'll get the expansion you need. I promise. Now, this was the human engineering process. We'll get you the training if you didn't go through it. And human engineering was about taking an assessment of our life. I bet one thing through the pandemic, you tell me if it's true or not true, I bet most of you are pretty clear on what you want out of life and what you don't want. Is that true? Type in true only if it's true. I guarantee it. Like, you know where you want to live, how you want to live, or you won't do it no more. The next thing is you want to have a sense of knowledge about this. Like, Mike, how do I think different about life? How do I think different about relationships and all these different aspects? Then there was a point where we had to have a sense of growth, right? We have to get a point where we're growing. Once we grow, we know, and you want to write this down, everybody, identity. Your identity that you have is by choice. Your identity is by choice. You can choose it. Now, I know some of you are probably like, old dogs can't learn new tricks. That's not true. That's not true. You could change your identity at any moment. I know I've changed my identity. How do you know? Because if you go back and look at me when I'm young with an afro, a chain wallet, a tattoo, and a bad attitude, right? And if you look at where I'm at today, my identity has changed over and over again. Now, look, write this down, everybody. Your identity is either by design or by default. By design or by default. And when it's by design, you get exactly what you want. Then we have to take action. Once we get this identity, we have to take massive action. It's interesting. My wife was talking about some people. They're like, oh, and we're not going to talk about politics. We're not going to talk about religion, and we're not going to talk about sports, and we're not going to debate what's right or wrong during a pandemic. Wear a mask, don't vaccinate. We're not. All I know is that some people out there are like, hey, this is happening, and I may not have a job. And I'm like, so get a different job. Flip your identity. Get a better job, bigger job, more flexibility. That's what's possible when you change your identity and take action. But you got to track against it. Because how do you know if you're improving or you're not improving? You have a tracking mechanism, and then you have to be in a world of support. I bet some of you, and you just type in maybe, if it's a maybe, some of you are probably surrounded around people that complain too much, have too many problems, and they don't take no action to do anything different. Is that possible? Type in possible. Is that possible? You're around people like that? You are probably on Facebook, right? And you're just sitting there going, wait a minute. So you got to have the support that's going to support your growth. All right, somebody's trying to write, but you clicked on something. So unclick on your screen so you get off my thing there. Okay, otherwise I'll unshare and then share again. See if you could figure it out if you're on an iPad. All right, we'll fix it up this way. Boom. Okay, make sure, write on your notes, don't write on my notes. Okay, let's get back on track. All right, we're back on track. All right, so here we go. Now we went through the first training was this, human engineering. The second one is this, superhuman. Okay, superhuman way of thinking. Now I know for some of you, this is a little probably different level of mind expansion here. Well, superhuman is this. One, the world, people, your life has created, okay, has created forced programming. Some of the programming's without you knowing it. What's forced programming? I guarantee some of you here, maybe not all of you, when you were young, you picked up money off the ground and your mom said, go wash your hands. Money is, type it in the chat bar. Money is what? What'd they tell you? Dirty. Money's dirty, right, Brian? And you had this forced programming from a young age that every time you touch money, it's dirty. Now, do you see a slight problem here that if you were programmed as a kid, money's dirty, and you have trouble making massive money, could it be that you have a programming problem? Type in the chat bar, possible? It doesn't matter. You're like, no, I don't believe that today. Okay. Not believing and still having it programmed in your mind, two different things. But then there's an unconscious program choice, unconscious program choice. And the unconscious programmed choice is this. I don't even know it's happening to me. I don't even know that this part that's sitting in my unconscious mind, right? I don't even know. It's an unconscious program choice. Like it's deep inside. It's deep inside there and it's running my life. And then people go like this. Tell me if you have any family, maybe it's you go, there's always a black cloud over me. Do you ever hear anybody say that? You know what that is? That's the unconscious programming. You don't have a black cloud over you. You have a creation system inside you that is causing these things to put yourself in these positions. Then there's conscious choice. Now, here's what you want to know about the conscious choice, everybody. Conscious choice is only as good as these two. That's it. These two here is pretty much your identity today. This is your identity today, which means the only conscious decision you can make is part of your identity that was programmed. Then we have this, the superconscious programming. The superconscious is the ability for you to create an identity, okay, an identity and live at your soul's purpose, where you feel, did you ever do something and you're just like, you feel like you are not in the zone, you are living the greatest moment of your life. And I bet you have some moments where you feel you're living the greatest hell of your life. Is that possible? Type in possible if that's possible, right? It's possible. So you want to stack on this. And then what we get to is this. Now we start to put together, everybody. I want to start to put together the training, okay, the 10 action items for Decamillionaire. But in order to be, and look, I get it. Every time somebody tells me this, they say to me, you know, Mike, big company, big problems. Okay, well, okay, big company, big money. Checkmate. How about that one for everybody, right? See, because they want to try to condition you for something to make it your truth. I said, whoa, that's not my truth. That's your truth. You keep your truth. But in order for us to move forward and become what we want, Decamillionaire, and some of you are like, oh, I don't want to be that. No, you don't want to be it because you don't believe you can. Right now, you don't believe. Until you believe, the moment you believe, your subconscious, your whole brain works together and makes it happen. That's exactly what happens. Now, this is where you're at, and this is where you want to go. And you have to first get really clear. Do you know what keeps people from where they're at and where they want to go? You know why people settle and they won't ever tell anybody, oh, I don't ever want to have a car like that. Of course you don't. You don't think you could ever do it. I don't want to ever have a business like that. Of course you don't. You don't think you could do it. I don't ever want to have a wife or husband like that. Of course you don't. You don't think you deserve it. Here's the thing. This right here. The blocker is identity, and it is programmed sabotage. Now, the reason it's sabotage is because you don't know, it's not a choice because you were programmed, but also that it wasn't a choice doesn't mean we cannot change it. Now, check this out. There's a term called pentamillionaire. Okay, pentamillionaire. Now, I'm going to give you some stats here, okay, because I want you to know what these stats are. Pentamillionaire, this is millionaires that have 5 million, okay, 5 million or less, and there's 3.5 million of Americans, 3.5 million Americans, okay, that are pentamillionaires. They have 5 million or less, right? Within that range. I mean, that seems like quite a few, right? And then you have Decamillionaire, right? Decamillionaire. Now, Decamillionaire, this is 10 million or more, right? 10 million. And guess how many there is that? 1.4 million in the US. That sounds pretty good. Then there's hecto. This is where some of you are starting to get real excited. First off, who's excited to start thinking like a pentamillionaire? Type in penta. You're like, now this is not your business is doing that. This is money you have, wealth you have. Like you could go buy what you want, do what you want. Now, how many of you are feeling Deca, 10 million? You're like, all right, I could do it. I want this. Now, hecto is 100 million, 100 million. And there is 34,000 of them. And then you. How many of you are like, want to just get a big, like a cape and then on the front put hecto on the front? It's like, that's the superhero. He's like hecto human, right? I'm digging that. I'm digging that. Type it in if you're digging that. Now, then the next one is billionaire, billionaire. And so 1 billion or more, there's 614 in the US, billionaire. Now, here's the thing. If you're not here at Penta and you're telling everyone you're going to go here, I'm just going to tell you, not that it's impossible. I'm just going to say that there's different levels of identity to go from a pentamillionaire to a deca to a hecto. Now, let me give you some stats here on the left here. Now, total population in the US, 328 million people, 328, okay? Number of millionaires, 20 million, 20 million. I mean, my other business, CEO Warrior, I produced, I think almost all of them are in the Decamillionaire. I produced like 7 Deca and I think now 2 pentamillionaires in the last 10 months through business coaching, right there alone, right? So 20 million millionaires. Now in Canada, there's 37 million people. 1.6 million of them are millionaires. I think who's in Canada? Anybody here from Canada? Type in Canada. In Australia, 25 million people, 1.8 millionaires. I want you to consider typing something in the chat bar. Why not me? Why not me? I said that one day. I said it with businesses I built. I said it when I started martial arts 36 years ago. I decided one day to become a tattoo artist. All the tattoo places said no because I didn't have an art degree. I said, why not me? Why not me? I said it when I built a service company, huge. Why not me? I said it when I decided to grow the top training and implementation organization in the world. Why not me? Right now, with FuDog Group, we're going to change the world. Why not me? Why shouldn't we change the world? Why not? That's why I want you to feel and just consider embracing that. Now, everyone else, the world, people around you, your family, your husband, your wife, they're probably saying, not you, not me. I'm rooting for you. Tell me, what is your big takeaway from strategy number one? Tell me your big takeaway. Is it the land of possibility? Is it like, wait a minute, if they can do it, why can't I do it? Here's the people that can't do it. If you're worried and you question yourself and your confidence and your ability to win, then guess what? Yeah, then we have, you know, you got to change your identity to feel this way. If you had the slightest moment right now where you're like, not me, do I deserve it? Can I do it? Am I smart enough? You have an identity problem. That's it. And it's fixable. You don't need a pill for it. You don't. You don't need a pill. You don't need a shot. You don't need a makeover. You need a re-way of thinking, okay? A new way of thinking. Now, let's go to strategy number 2. Is this good or is this great? Type in great. Is this great information? And I hope those of you that are here the second time, you're like, I want you to feel like you're ready to pick up your laptop and like crush it with your, don't break your laptop. Don't break your laptop. I want you to feel so empowered that there's no other option but win. But see, strategy number 2 is belief system. It's belief system. See, you're living your reality right now. Right now. I love what John said. He's like, it's great so far, but Mike, you might suck in a little bit. So I'll let you know in the end. All right, I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to keep it up. That's your reality. Now, your reality is based off of your current belief system. Your current belief system. This is how you think about everything. Like things are either good or bad. Money's either hard or easy, right? You either have opportunities or you don't. And this, based on how you believe, think about forced programming. Be scared. You're going to die. You're no good. It's tough to make money. Money's dirty. Well, those belief systems, money doesn't grow on trees. They're going to turn into your current, write this down with me, everybody, your current behaviors and actions. Now, look, if you love suffering and you love drama and you love excuses, this is going to be the toughest 90 minutes of your life with me, because I'm not giving any kumbaya hugs. I'm not. I'm only giving hugs and high fives to those that are like, you know what? I embrace change. I'm ready. I'm willing, because I know you're good enough to do it. Everybody can do it. Everybody can. Why? I did it, right? I did it. I'm an electrician who learned how to study and practice, and I'm not good at reading books, and I can't remember stuff from books, and I found a way to learn what I needed to learn. This will create your current results. That creates your current results. That is going to be this, your current belief system. You either feel you're the best in the world or you're not. You either feel that you have skills and gifts or you don't. Now let's look at the other reality. Let's look at this reality. This reality is we take on a new belief system. If the only thing that happens tonight for you, the only thing with this time together, you go, I believe I could become a pentamillionaire, then we're good. We already started momentum moving forward. Now, once we have a new belief system, we will create a whole sense of new behaviors, and new actions. And these new behaviors and actions will get you what? New results, the results you want. You guys know the phrase, right? Like, you know, insanity. Keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get the same desired result. Well, how do you change? They make it sound easy. Well, you know, do something different. Yeah, but like, how do you do something different? You've been doing it that way. People taught you that way. I mean, how many of you grew up in a family constantly complaining about money? Type in the chat bar. You? Were they like, did they say things like, do you think I own the utility company? What do you think? Money grows on trees? What do you think? I'm rich? Did any of you hear this? And money became what? money became the problem. Only me and Nancy, maybe, right? And Marisol. Okay. Money became the problem. What do you mean you need new shoes? Can't you wear the shirt? It has a hole in it. Yeah, but does that matter? I wore shirts with holes. I wore shoes with holes. Money became a problem, right? Money became a problem. And that controlled your belief system. And now I bet some of you, you tell me, I bet some of you, sometimes something comes out of your mouth and you sound just like your mom or dad. Raise your hand if that's true. Yeah. Puzio, yeah. It's like, oh my God, did I just say that? I sound like my dad. Now, maybe some of that's good. And maybe some of it is not good no more. Maybe that was good when you were 8 years old. Maybe it's not good now that you're 40 something or 50 or 30. Probably was good to keep you safe from hurting yourself. Okay. But maybe not good today. Maybe it's a lid on top of you. All right, let's go for number 3 here. Let's go for number 3. Wealth behaviors. Now, first you got to take on this new behavior, right? And when you think about taking on a new behavior, you have to do the new behavior until it becomes a pattern, right? So maybe my new behavior is know what you would call, negative or, maybe not healthy thinking. Maybe that's a behavior I have, like healthy talking, healthy thinking. Who has some real not nice self-talk about themselves? Type in the chat bar. Can you get a little nasty with yourself? Like, you're no good. Why'd you do that? You don't deserve it. Yeah. Thank you for your honesty, everybody. Well, yeah, that's a behavior you have. And until you put a new behavior, you're like, wait, let me do every time that I say something that is not nice, I'm going to say something nice. Well, if I start to change that, that's going to create a new pattern. It's going to be a new pattern. And the new pattern is I talk nice to myself. I talk positive to myself. I talk about change. I talk about improvement. And then if I keep talking nice to myself, then guess what? I start talking nice to others too, right? And that creates a habit. And then that habit is I start thinking about success. So you have to change the behaviors. When the behaviors change, you have to put in new patterns. When you put in new patterns, they become new habits. Now you just support the habits. You support the habits. Now, what's a good way to kill a pattern? Okay, I bet this happens for some of you. You stop smoking. So you're like, I'm not going to smoke. The pattern, you're like, I'm not a smoker, but what happens? Someone in your family is a smoker, so they smoke. And then that pulls you back down to the behavior. Does that happen some way? Or you ate good. You're like, I'm not going to eat sugar. You have a new pattern, never made it to a habit. All of a sudden, it's birthday party or Thanksgiving. Everyone else eats sugar. Boom. Your behavior is now you're consuming a ton of sugar, right? You're consuming a whole ton of sugar. That's what could happen there. Now, tell me what makes sense about this. Where do you need to implement something here? Tell me, do you have to implement the behavior? Is it the whole thing? Do you have to start getting new habits in place? The reason why this habit of Penta or Deca, why you're not there, is because a lot of people say, you know what? I'm going to learn, I want to grow my career, right? Or my business. And a lot of people do, but they never hit the abilities of Deca and Hecto because they never 20x grow themselves. If you want to 10x your business or greater, you have to 20x yourself. That's what I learned. It's taken me all of these years to figure out, like, how did I win? How did I keep winning? How did I outgrow everybody? Anything I do, I only know one thing. I'm going to do it better. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to impact more people than anybody in the world. And it came down to this. I never stopped investing in growing myself. Never. Even back when I was 15 and started. We have any martial artists here? Type in martial artist. Like I started that when I was 15 and I never stopped. Never stopped. Okay. So that's wealth behaviors. All right. We got some martial artists. Do we have any veterans or anything on tonight? Type in vet if you're a vet in here. Okay. Well, chat's a little slow, but if we have any vets, thank you so much for your service. Everybody type in thank you if we have anybody. All right. Now, the 3 P's of wealth. This is going to sound very simple, right? But it's not. First P, passion. Some of you are suffering with passion right now. Why? You're like, I'm passionate to do this, and this pandemic's trying to kick me in the face. It's only trying to kick you because you don't have enough passion. The second thing is purpose. When you stack passion with purpose, you know what happens? You get massive power. You get massive power. You know what power does? Nothing can stop your powerful self. Nothing. Nothing can get in the way. If there's a way to get it done, you're getting it done. And there's always a way to get it done. Now, wait a second. If you start to lose your passion, you will start to lose your power, and you will start to question your purpose. If you can relate to this, type in relate in the chat bar. Have you went through anything in the last couple years, 5 years, where your passion started to get sucked away from you, and you said your power started to deflate, and your purpose, you went home and said, I don't know what I can do. I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know who I am. You look in the mirror in the morning and you're like this. It's why I joined CEO Warrior. Thank you, Brian. Right? It's like, I don't know who I am. This is the thing. When we flip our identity and we supercharge it with passion and purpose, you will have power where you won't be one of these people like, oh, not enough sleep and I work too much and blah, blah, blah. You won't be one of those. You won't feel that way no more. You'll be like the Energizer rabbit. People will be like, he's got to be on Red Bulls or something. People look at me and they go, well, first off, they're like, is he like that all the time? And my team, my wife will tell you, everybody in the chat bar, like, I'm always in a state like this. Number 2, I don't do it with Red Bulls. I'm not saying it to brag. I'm just giving you some insight. Like, I don't do caffeine. I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. I don't do gluten, right? I don't do that stuff. You know why? Because if you want to live in a state of passion and purpose and have unlimited power, power that moves you to where you want to go, you know what you got to do? You have to become superhuman, right? Okay, let's go for number 5. If you can handle number 5, type in, let's do it. Type in, let's do it. Know you for 11 years. This is Mike. Yes, thank you. Let's do it. All right. So strategy 5 is what drives wealth, right? Now, wealthy people are driven by something, and I'm going to tell you what a lot of them are driven by. First, they're driven by a mission. When I hear people tell me they have enough money, I say, stop being selfish and go make more so you could give it away. That's what I tell people when they say is, oh, you know, money's not everything. And how much do you need? I said, you need to get more then. If you're good, go get more and help other people then, right? And that becomes a mission for you. The mission to help others. I'm here at 8 o'clock at night, not because I have to, because I want to. I want to see more change. The more money you make in your life, the more you'll give to other people. And I don't care who those people are. It could be your church, it could be your community, it could be starving people. Long as you're giving it to a good cause, I'm excited. When you have a mission, guess what it creates? A movement. A movement. Every one of you in life, so many people have a mission in their business, and that's great. I love it. What is your life mission? What is your life movement? Like, I know we are going to impact 1 million or more in 100 countries or more in a decade or less. And I'm not going to stop doing these until we made that impact, because you know what? Otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen to the world. I don't know how. Right now, people are being, in this earth, people are being more challenged on their mental state than ever in history. And that, when you have your mission and movement, you will have a drive, a hunger, a passion, a relentlessness, that the minute your eyes open in the morning, you're like, I'm getting up. I am doing this. And a lot of people, they won't be able to relate to you like this, because you're going to be out there trying to build a better way to flip hamburgers, because just what you do. You're going to be out there trying to serve somebody while you're cooking for a barbecue, because that's what you do. And they'll be like, are you working? And you're like, no, I'm living. Any of you that are working a job, you're working a slow death for yourself. Even if it's not your perfect thing now, live it and love it for the experience it is. Otherwise, it's a slow death. You know, they say, if you're not growing, you're what? Type it in the chat bar. If you're not growing, you're what? That's an old phrase. You're dying. That's old. You know what it is today? If you're not growing, you're already dead and you didn't even realize it yet. That's just my perspective. Take it for what it's worth. But if you take these and drive this, boom, everything will change for you when you live within this state. Now, one of the things that I wanted to teach you is how do you start to change this whole channel? How do you start to change the game for yourself? Because you're sitting here, you're going, you know what, Mike, this is good information, but what about me right now? I get it. You're on an airplane. You got to put that mask on you first. You can't help others if you pass out. So let's talk about how to change the channel right here. Step one, and I want you guys to draw this out with me. Okay, draw this out together. Step one, evaluate where you're at. We talked about this in the beginning, like really where you're at. Who's in a relationship? Type in relationship. You're in a relationship. You have a partner, a husband, a wife, whatever you have. You're in some kind of relationship. You know, most relationships, after 5 years, they never evaluate where they're at. They never take a minute to say, I ask people, I say, how's your relationship? They go, oh, it's good. I said, the fact you use the word good means it's been dead a long time. Oh, no, it's pretty great. The fact you use the word great means it's starting to die. If you didn't say it is excellent, it is a level of excellence. There is passion. There is connection. Then I go, high five. You have to know exactly where you're at. Most people, they're just living a life of its routine, right? It's the life of routine. When you know that to have the most amazing life you ever wanted, you got to build it by design. Very few people, stop, Ginger. My dog's like licking her leg or something here. A lot of people, they just end up with default. Oh, I don't know how my life got here. I don't know why it's miserable. I don't know why I'm in debt. What do you mean you don't know why you're in debt? Because you didn't design anything different. You designed debt. You designed anger. You designed frustration, or you accepted someone else's design. The world could keep trying to tell me, okay, they could keep trying to tell me that I should feel miserable about what's going on. I don't feel miserable about it. I don't. I understand. It's another experience. For some people, it woke the world up. It told everybody what they like and what they don't like. There's a gift in that. Most people were just living routine. They weren't even living a life. At least now they're paying attention. It forced a lot of people back home. They were ignoring their families. Husbands weren't coming home, right? Wives weren't coming home. Families weren't together. Now, maybe some of that was not as easy as it said, but I bet some of your families got closer. Some of you probably started to look at each other like, man, I didn't even know where the hell did we go for the last 10 years? That's a plus side to things, right? You got to evaluate. Number 2, okay, you got to be willing to shift. You got to be willing to shift. And the way that I learned to shift is this. You have to be willing to remove guilt, shame, trauma, and past programming. Now tell me this, and you don't have to tell me what it is. Do any of you, and just say yes, me, or any of you living or have past experience, and you might possibly inside your brain, conscious or subconscious, a little guilt, shame, trauma, or past programming that you don't agree with? Type it in the chat bar. Yes? Yeah. I don't care how much work you did on the self. Someone told me, you know what, Mike? The fact you washed your car, it don't stay washed, right? You have to constantly wash it. Well, this is our old identity. And if you're living with any of that, being bullied, addiction, anxiety, pressures of life, anger because you were divorced, if you carry any of that, your life will be by default. You could try to think positive all you want. You must reprogram it. That's step 3. Step 3, you must build a new identity. Now, a new identity is not putting on a mask and today I'm Barbie, today I'm Ken, tomorrow I'm Superman, tomorrow I'm the Hulk. No. A new identity is who you are deep inside, who you program yourself, how you're going to relate to this world, how you're going to think, how you're going to make decisions. It's like, do any of you remember a Commodore 64 computer? Do you remember this computer? Yeah, some of you raising your hand. Like, I only had one friend that, Steve Moon, what's up, bro? That could put enough ones and zeros and make it actually do like a Pac-Man thing. I could never figure it out. I'm pretty sure none of you are watching this on a Commodore 64 right now. Commodore 64 was an old identity. It could only do so much with the programming it had. Now, what do you want? I'm on like a, I don't even know. People say, what kind of MacBook is that? I'm like, MacBook Pro. I'm like, I don't even know what it is. iPhone 11. I don't know. All I know is it's faster identity. And then we have step number 4, everybody. This is we have to live our new identity. Once we build it, we got to live it. Now, that's easier said than done, because if you build your identity and your wife doesn't build hers, I love when people tell me this, and like I could put it wife and husband. I heard it both ways. I have husbands go like this. Oh, my wife, she's not into that improving stuff. Your wife's not into improving herself? What about you? Oh yeah, I'm improving myself all the time. Let me explain to you what's going to happen. Let me grab my crystal ball and predict your future. I hope it's not true, but it happened to me. I experienced it. You will grow here. Your wife will not grow because you don't know, she don't know, and the gap will get so far apart. Type in the chat bar what will happen when the gap gets so far apart, where one's growing and one's not. Tell me what will happen. Predict people's future. Go ahead. Thrill me. You know what will happen. Yeah, you'll separate. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. So you want to grow with people. You want to grow with people, right? Number 5. Okay, number 5, you have to be consistent. Consistent in your new identity. Your identity will stay strong as long as you keep it strong. If you take on the things, downside things versus upside things, it will rewind back. It will. You'll reprogram yourself right back to the beginning. It's like take an animal out of the jungle and all of a sudden it could become civilized, act a certain way. Put it back in the jungle, it turns back into an animal. Now this here is step number 6, okay? This is your new identity serves you, okay? It serves you. And when it doesn't serve you, you change it. You change it. But you're conscious enough to know that who you are is getting you. Look, the fact, any of you that want to be a penta, deca, hecto, and think that the way you're going now with the skill set you have, this always stings. I hate when people used to tell it to me, and I used to eat it like NyQuil. They say, if you had the skill sets to already be a millionaire, Mike, you already would have been one. You don't have it. You have to go get it. And if you want to be a millionaire, you got to learn the skill sets of a $5 million person, because a $5 million person can never get there with a $500,000 thinking process. Type in makes sense if that makes sense. You never could get to 5 million to wealth with a $500,000 thinking process. A friend of mine, Todd, taught me a phrase like that. I was like, oh my goodness, that makes so much sense. So what do? Here's what I'd like to do. And we have 5 more things we got to get through. I have an opportunity. Please don't think I'm selling you anything. If it's a fit for you, fine. If it's not, could I at least explain the opportunity if it could serve you and your family at a higher level? Just give me a yes in the chat bar if I could do that. It won't take long. And there's no obligations here. I'm not one of these people that are like, you got to just, no. If it's a fit for you, fine. I'll change your life. If it's not a fit, then it's fine. Here's what I have for you. I have a training coming up. It is super affordable. I'll explain it to you. It's called Change the Channel. All right, number 6, understand wealth building. All right, here's you in the middle. All right, this is you in the middle. Okay. Now, there's all kinds of opportunities to build wealth. You could have a business, right? Portfolio. This is where you have more than one business. You could have some kind of stock portfolio. You could have some kind of real estate portfolio. You could have some kind of creation portfolio. This is where you create product or something like that. And this is not all of the portfolios that you could have. There's a lot of different portfolios. What I wanted to let you know was in here, there's a portfolio, but in the middle of becoming a Decamillionaire is you. You know, you're the common denominator of winning or not winning, right? You're the common denominator. So what do you have to do? First, you have to be willing to have this vision of possibility, right? Like, yeah, I want to go there. My vision is Decamillionaire, right? Once you have a vision, you have to be able to have expansion. Expansion. Now, expansion comes when you remove resistance, guilt, trauma, past programming. When we pull out resistance, we add expansion. Okay, we add expansion. Once we have expansion, we add speed. Okay, we add speed in there. Once we have speed, what a lot of people don't know is you have to have a sense of protection. You have to have a sense of protection, because if you become a Decamillionaire and you don't have protection vehicles in place, well, people are going to come and try to get what they didn't work for. Is that type impossible? Do you know anybody that tries to go take from people, but they didn't work for it? Like it's a little annoying, actually. Like I know people in my past, they fell down in Walmart so they could collect money. I was like, you think there's not somebody who owns, like, you don't have a relative that probably owns some stock in Walmart? Like you think Walmart's like this little vehicle that nobody owns? Like that's not good in my eyes. That's not going to serve you. So you got to have protection, because people want to come after people that are working hard. That's my experience. But once you protect yourself, you could have a bigger vision. And when you have a bigger vision, you expand. When you expand, you go quicker with speed, and then you got to protect more. And this just becomes this beautiful wheel of wealth. Now you start moving to becoming this deca or penta, whatever you want, millionaire. And I want you to embrace that term, because it's okay to want that. It really is. It's okay to want money. It is. When you have money, you help people. You help yourself, you help your family, you help the legacy. When you have money, you probably eat better. There's a lot of benefits. It's a good tool to get great things. Okay, let's go for number 7. What was your big takeaway from that? Just so I know, type in the chat bar. What's your big takeaway? Possible, yeah. Yeah, what else? What's your big takeaway? It's okay to want money. Yeah, and a lot of it. It's a lot of it. I'm one of the rare people. You're going to come around and Steve Moon's like, hey, I'm going to go and I want to get $1 million. I am like high-fiving, fist pumping, elbowing, jumping. I'm like, let's do it. The rest of the world, like, why? What do you want to do that for? Why do you need so much money? Why are you being greedy? Blah, 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 blah. And you're like, well, because I want to give it away and change the world and serve people. And right? All right. Strategy number 7. Number 7, your average. Now you've heard this before. I'm going to put a little different swing in. Those of you that heard it, I wanted you to hear it with fresh ears right now. Most of you have an inner circle you're surrounded around. Might be like your mom, your neighbor, maybe an old friend, right? Maybe a boss, maybe a dad. And this is your peer group. And most people are a sum of their closest peer group. Okay? It's pretty rare that you hang out with a bunch of miserable people and you don't gain some being miserable. Now, it's not who you spend your time with. It's how you spend your time with them. Write that down. It's not who you spend your time with. It's how you spend your time with those people. And you're the sum of your closest peers. So I look at some things that changed for me, like some of my peers I hang around with, like Jay Abraham, right? Highest paid consultant on earth, right? Or Mike McAllowitz, right? Another friend of mine. Or I've spent time with Brian Tracy, or another friend of mine, Joe Polish, or another friend of mine, Dean Jackson. Now I become the sum of other, this is going to be a big aha for you, other hecto millionaires, right? You become the sum of these people. Just like tonight, we're going to be the sum result of who's on here tonight. So with this, tell me in the chat bar, what's a new decision you have to start to make? What is a new decision? And then it doesn't matter you're around these people, it's how you're around these people. I remember the first time I was next to Jay Abraham, I was in a big event and he was sitting right next to me. Oh my God. I wouldn't even look at him. I was so intimidated. I wouldn't smile. I sat and looked forward. I felt like I wasn't even worthy to have a conversation of him. I felt like, why would he talk to me? I'm nothing. And then I was like, through training and thinking, I was like, wait, I know some things he don't know. He didn't do martial arts for 30 years. He couldn't snap somebody's wrist and take him down with a fork, but I could. But he had other skills. later through training, learning, raising, now I've been on stage with him probably 30 different times on stage with him, highest paid consultant on earth. Why? Not who I've been around, how I've been around them, how I participated around them. Okay, let's go for number 8. You guys are doing amazing, okay? Number 8 here, wealth building and energy, okay? Wealth building and energy. Now, the first part about wealth building and energy is there's the energy you have now, okay? This is the way you think and what you do. Now, I don't want to get too foo-foo-y with you and also not too scientific, but I have to put this out here because in case you don't know, you're nothing but a ball of vibration energy. Let's just get that clear, right? Your whole body's a vibration energy. Your identity controls the vibration of this energy. Now, if I take money, okay, Matt Puzio, if I take money and I take a microscope, real powerful, and I look at it, Matt, it's moving at a rate of speed. Money's actually moving. It moves at such a rate of speed and frequency, it's solid. Now, wait a second. That's energy. And I'm energy. Some of your brain should be really going off right now saying, wait a minute, if I don't attract that energy, my identity must not have the energy that I need. My identity must be pushing away what I want instead of magnifying it and magnetizing it, right? The next level is this, the energy you think you need. People tell me, they say, you know, I'm very energetic and I do aerobic and I do burpees and I go to CrossFit and I run around and I'm bouncing around and I drink some Red Bulls and I eat some caffeine, blah, blah, blah. It's like you think that's what you need. But then there's a third level. It's the energy you really need. This is the aligned energy of your identity with your beliefs now, because your identity has created these beliefs with your vision. This is what we call energy alignment. Mom, I found money. Money's dirty. Go wash your hands. Energy going out. Money's dirty. It ain't never coming to me. It's not going to come. My wife always says, when we look, like it could be anything. She picks it up. She goes, money comes to me effortlessly. Well, she'll type in what the whole thing is. But she always has this one phrase she says. And that money keeps coming because of that. I mean, my wife walks on the beach, a big ass beach. She's like, oh, I found another penny, another quarter, like all over. It's all over the beach. Everywhere she walks, she's like, oh, look, I found. It's like the damn shit's falling out of the sky for her. You know why? Her energy is aligned. Tell me what your takeaway from that is. What do you need to do? I want this to be action items, guys. This is not me talking at you. I want you to live and leave here where you go, you know what? I got to change my energy. I got to change my identity. I got to start living a certain way here. Money comes to me effortlessly and in abundance. Thank you. Yeah, she's been using that forever, like forever. And money is constantly falling out of the sky to her. I think that's how she just supports me that way. She's like, oh, my husband just loves me effortlessly. It is effortlessly to love her. Okay. Is this good? Are you guys getting a lot of stuff here? I did tell my wife today, Michelle, I said, you know, you don't ever have to worry about if we ever, like there's ever a food shortage in the world. I said, I'll just cut off my left arm and I'll just cauterize it and I'll just feed you my arm. That's what I told her today. Yeah. That's what I should do, right, Michelle? It's got to be the left arm. I mean, she's got to eat some tattoos, right? Who's got tattoos? Type in tattoo if you got tattoos. I told my son, when I die someday, just peel the tattoos off my body and do like the Japanese, like just dry it and like make it into a knife handle or something. Yeah, tattoos. If you don't have a tattoo, you have time. You could still go get one, okay? It's not over. All right, let's go for number 9, elevated wealth thinking. All right, I want you really to sit up with it. I want you to sit up with it. Right. John was like, go do it. Once you get one, right? Next thing you know, you become a tattoo artist and you're tattooing the shit out of yourself, right? Like me. Okay. Maybe you didn't know I was a tattoo artist. Okay. Awareness. Tonight, did you become a little aware on some new things about becoming a Decamillionaire? Type in the chat bar. Yes. Did you become aware? The next thing, knowledge, consumption. Knowledge delivered in a way that you can consume it where you understand it. Tonight, you'll wake up probably in the middle of the night and you're going to have brilliant ideas. Tomorrow morning, you're going to have more energy than before because you took on awareness, you had knowledge consumption, and you're starting to think in a land, I hope, of possibility. But then there's the next step. Modeling others. Modeling others of high integrity that have done it. I'd like to think I'm a good model of high integrity of somebody who's done it. I don't talk about anything that I haven't done myself or helped other people do. I don't. Okay. But modeling others based after the consumption is going to get you there faster. And then the last part, the top part, is this awakening. This awakening and massive action towards wealth. I mean, just say the word wealth. If you say it and you don't smile, you probably have a sense of internal conflict. If you're like, wealth, but if you're like, wealth, and you feel it vibrating in your body, you know that you're gaining a higher level of resonance with it. Like, just look in the mirror. I bet some of you don't remember seeing yourself in the mirror this morning. Is that true? I bet you brushed your teeth, did your hair, you can't remember looking at yourself in the mirror because you didn't look. Okay, tonight, when you go to bed, you brush your teeth, just get deep in your eyes and just go, wealth. And just look at yourself. Feel the vibration that starts to happen. And everything will start to shift. All right, let's end strong here. Let's go for number 10. The secret ingredient, okay? The secret ingredient. All right. You're in the middle here because you're the common denominator. You're what we got to work on. You want a wealthy life? You have to learn how to change your life. You have to learn how to change your life. Hey, Jen, just text my mom. She's like making sure we're okay from the storm. So just tell her I'm good and I'm teaching everybody. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My mom, she's always making sure I'm safe. Okay, the first part is you have to have the ability, okay, to remove what we spoke about, resistance. Resistance. You have to reprogram your identity. You have to, if you carry pressure, anxiety, you were bullied, you were verbally abused, you felt like a failure because you lost your business, your relationship fell apart. If you're carrying any of what we would call baggage, that is resistance, and this wheel cannot spin as free as you want. You got to deal with that. The next thing, you have to be willing to live within this powerful new identity. You got to love it, but you have to align with everyone in your world, because if you don't align with your new identity, with other people's identity, if you don't raise together, you're going to raise apart. You're going to push apart. And I don't want that to happen. When I see this, I'm never impressed. One of the things, what it always freaked me out, like all these people were growing big companies at one time and everybody was impressed. They built these big 30, $50 million companies and then got divorced. And I was like, that's not success. That wasn't, you built a company and killed your family. You killed your relationship. Now, I'm not saying some relationships shouldn't stay together. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, like, if you raise your identity and your partner raises their identity, and if you both are aligned, Decamillionaire is a piece of cake. It's a piece of cake. Okay. All right. So we have our ability to remove resistance, identity. Then we have to live within the identity aligned with everyone. And then you have what's going to be your current identity, right? So this becomes your current identity. Because when you change your identity, you're going to come back. I have my new current identity. And then you go, wait a second. I'm now a pentamillionaire. What do I got to do? Identify, okay? Identify my new identity. My new identity is going to be Decamillionaire, right? Then you're going to go through this again. And then you're going to go, your current identity is Deca. And then you go, you know what? I'm going to go for Hecto, until you're done. And chances are you're never done. If you're driven and you're on here with this training with me today and stayed this whole way to do this, people say, I can't wait to retire. I say, well, what have you been doing that you hate so much that you can't wait to stop? Because if you're looking forward to retirement, your life is horrible because you hate what you're doing. I don't ever say I can't wait to retire. And you know it's true because I had 2 large major deals that I did in the last 4 years. I mean, I sold a $32 million company 4 years ago. I'm not here because I have to be. I love this. I love serving you. I love watching change. I love how you're impacting the world. I never look for retirement. To me, that's death. That means I hate life. That's only my translation. That's why this is the secret ingredient right here. All right. Let's kind of final ribbon around this. Let me read these couple quotes to you. Make your identity your next mission. Identity cannot be found or fabricated, but emerges from within when one has the courage to let go. Doug Cooper. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. George Shaw. That's one, like, you should put that on your wall, everybody, right? Never mind searching for who you are. Search for the person you aspire to be. Let me just read that one more time. Never mind searching for who you are. Search for the person you aspire to be, by Robert Brault. Just think about that. And my team will put this in. If you want to sign up for Change the Channel, just go right there. You could sign up right online. If you have any problems, you just reach out to us. Otherwise, I said 90 minutes. I want you to give me, Kathy Ryan, what's up? I want you to type in the chat bar, everybody, Anthony Foster, all of you. I want you to type in one thing right now, like one action item that you're going to do today, tonight, before your day, if you're Australia, or before you go to bed. Like, what's one thing you're going to do? Tell me. Colleen, what's happening? Kevin Axtell, what's up? Brian Jewett, thanks for all the interaction. Look in the mirror. Nice, Kathy. I love it. Change mindset. Yes. Yep. Hectomillionaire, Mr. Brian. Hectomillionaire. Reconsume tonight's notes. Yes, Jack. That's perfect. Look at myself in the mirror and speak wealth. Yes, Jason. Continue to invest in myself. Yes. Eliminate past fears and trauma. 100%. Mirror exercise to embody wealth. Yes. Expect more wealth. Yes. Look at my circle and see how we can have better convoys, get-togethers. Okay. Check in on how I spend time. Yeah. Check my vibration. Beautiful. Power and purpose. Oh, I love this, everybody. Level up identity to Deca. Yes, Christina. Communicate my mission. Yes, to the world. Conversations. Right, Matt. Thank you for the support there. Believe that all things are possible. Decamillionaire in the making. Yes. As Michael Jackson said, look in the mirror and make the change. Boom. List people to invite. Thank you. Expect more wealth. Go over my notes again. Everybody, you have been amazing. I appreciate all of you. Can you give it to the whole team that helped tonight? Say thank you, team, FuDog team in the chat bar. They were helping, communicating with all you guys. I look forward to having you on Change the Channel training. If we could serve you in any way, let me know. Otherwise, we love you guys. Have an amazing night. Boom.